Eve Murray.
Yeah, that's the name for the night, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Friday Live by the Hood. I'm your host, as always, Jimmy. For the folks who might be tuning in for the first time, this is our Friday show. We go live to talk to our community. And if you're just becoming aware of our platform, we talk about community empowerment, and that's through personal finance. So we talk a little bit about every sector, whether it's real estate, whether it's the stock market, whether it's precious metals. Tonight, we're going to have a very special conversation, a little bit hybrid, stock market, but a lot of crypto talk tonight. That's because of the news that broke this week. And we got some experts on, man. So we got a panel tonight. This should be fun, man. And by the way, tonight I'm going by Eve Murray, man. You know what I'm saying? It's Eve Murray in the building. You know what I mean? Because we about to talk about the most beautifulest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? Which is that bread. For the folks watching, do me a favor. Make sure y'all hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Share this out with the folks so we can start this conversation, man. I got my brother Corey in the building. Corey, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Every day above ground is a good day, man. The market's treated me well this week. My portfolio stopped looking like a redhead stepchild. You know what I mean? They put on some green clothes this week, and then my long positions they stop bleeding. They not bleeding as fast no more. I put somebody put some salve on them in a wound on them joints too, on my leaps. So those joints is looking like regular. And then I ran some cover calls and I sold some puts. So this week, the money looking right, so I feel better. When your money looks better, you feel better.
Yo, real quick, I'm just gonna put this out there before we bring our guests on. Like, in terms of what happened to me in the market this week, in the precious metals market, I bought a little bit of gold, silver, and platinum. And by the way, I told Corey this. I got a site I'm using now to help you buy like increments of it to build up to get your coins. But if anybody's interested in that, you can hit me up, and also check out my Monday videos on our YouTube channel where I talk about precious metals. I did that. I picked up one leap. So right now, the only options contracts that I hold, I'm still holding. It's a $6 Nokia call that's in January. But I picked up one more. I got out of that Ford one. So we had a Ford. What was that? 2022 core. We all had that one. The Ford.
Yeah, that
I got out of that though. I broke even. I waited till it broke even, then got out of that, man. I don't know. Yo, shout out to our brother Kamari, man. I'm cool on Ford, man. That shit company. But I got out of that and I picked up a leap on XLF, the financial services. I got a January 2023 $30 call, and it's already up. So I was blessed to see that today. You know what I'm saying? So, Peloton hit an all-time high. Shout out to Michael Gray who's leaving his comments. We're gonna put in, but Peloton hit an all-time high. So I'm feeling good too, man. Everything's good, man. But this ain't about us, man. We got some very, very special guests in the building, man. And we want to break it down with these brothers, man. We got Russell Hughes, who is as a matter of fact, I got a new title for you, Russell. Man, I'm not gonna call you a crypto investor or a trader. I'm gonna call you a cryptocurrency advocate. Because you be telling the folks, man, you be begging black folks to get into crypto, man, and you're like an advocate for the space, man. So we got the cryptocurrency advocate, Russell Hughes, who's in the building. We also have the founder of, a gentleman who found a course teaching cryptocurrency, and we've actually partnered with him, the CryptoCraft course. He's been on before. We got our brother Kamil, tax professional, as well as another cryptocurrency enthusiast. Who's out here teaching people how to, get in that space. And if you guys need any help with that, make sure you let us know. Because, like I said, he's created an amazing course, and we've partnered with him on that course. So if you want any information. But crypto has been in the news this week, man. So first off, Russell, how are you, man? Let me ask you, how are you?
Oh, man, I'm good. I got beat down, man, by the stock market, but it was my fault, man.
Yeah, man, I heard you on your live was cussing out NVIDIA, so I'm taking NVIDIA did you dirty or something, man, because you was calling them all courts of foul language.
Man, I don't even mess with NVIDIA anymore. It's off my watch list,
What they do to you, bro?
Man, if I had a dial, man, I'd show you. I'd show you where the dial would hurt.
You would show us where they hurt you.
Yeah. You know,
Yo,
I be needing accountability partners, man, because I find every day, man, every day a play that goes up over 100% in about an hour or two, right? Every day.
Yeah, I saw you saying that too. Like the idea of trusting your research. You were talking about like plays you had, and you were putting them out there, but you just didn't pull the trigger yourself. And next thing you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's up 100%.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting topic right there, man. But we're gonna get into all that though. But brother Kamil,
Mm-hmm.
man, how are you, sir?
Everything's good. Just working really hard. We got the tax deadline coming up next week, and we, got a lot of last minute people, and then also, still balancing all, crypto stocks. After last time I was on here for the first time, I never heard of leaps, but heard Corey was mentioning his whole portfolio on the leaps. So I got some leaps a couple of weeks ago. Talking to Coach Carter Malik. Yes, I took a percentage of my portfolio and I bought a bunch of Mac leaps, Macerich, the real estate investment trust. They own a lot of like 8 top of the line properties, and like they own the gallery, the old gallery. They own Tyson's Corner, a lot of that stuff. So that's
you talking about? You talking about Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust?
no Macerich,
Okay,
MAC.
because I know the gallery is owned by Pennsylvania Real Estate. What a gallery downtown Philadelphia is owned by the
They
Pennsylvania Real
might be
Estate.
a partner in the development, but it's definitely
Okay,
their owner. It's like on
okay,
their
yeah.
portfolio.
Because I know it's on the portfolio of Pennsylvania Real Estate Investment Trust. They own that. They own Cherry Hill Mall, Plymouth Meeting Mall, and a couple other things. But I'll check out that company as well. So you bought some. How far out are your leaps?
Same as y'all, January 2023. So
Yeah.
2023. I mean,
Okay.
I'm betting. I mean, I know retail and everything's being beaten down, but a lot of the online businesses, they're looking for that omnipresent experience. So they want you to be able to shop online, come in the stores, touch, feel, or give you that experience, whether it's Peloton or Amazon or Apple, whatever. So I'm kind of just betting on that.
I had that same thought, but I couldn't find the I was looking for an ETF, and that's probably why couldn't find the one to get a leap on. I was looking at XLRE, which is one of the spider funds, but they only went out right now. They only have volume on May of 2021, and I don't think that's long enough. I said May of 2021, it might be in the worst place. I said so I'm not looking to grab that. If I could have found the 2023, I think that's enough time for us to go through a cycle of everything dropping and coming back. So that sounds interesting, man. So now I gotta go look this company up and see what those leaps look like, man. But gentlemen, man, the reason I have you guys on is because you guys both are experts in the cryptocurrency space. And I've learned a lot from both of you guys. Every time I talk to one of you, you got something new you're telling me, and it's like, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Before we get into that, though, we got folks checking in. Want to make sure we speak to the audience. So we got the brother Michael Gray checking in. Mike, what's up? How are you? Yeah, Mike also says that great week, Peloton new all-time high, man. Peloton is just rolling and rolling, man. I don't know how far on go, but Peloton is rolling right now, man. Brother Don Johnson. Don, what's up, bro? We get, the folks out here sport, show them all love, man. Good evening to you. Well, good evening. Adrian checking in as well. Let's see. Yes, good evening to you as well. Good evening. So, so the crypto space, man, the biggest story, and which is the headline and the name of this actual episode, was about Square spending $50 million to buy Bitcoin. Before I get you guys' perspective, I just want to read a little bit of the news. The Square on Thursday bought 4,709 Bitcoins, which is worth approximately $50 million. This represents about 1% of Square's total assets as of the end of the second quarter of 2020. Square believes that cryptocurrency is an instrument of economic empowerment and provides a way for the world to participate in the global monetary system, which aligns the company's purpose. So this was big news, not only on the stock market, but in the crypto space. A company that's publicly traded, and a company that's been doing amazing. They're at an all-time high as well with Peloton, spending that kind of capital to get into the space. So I'm gonna start with you, Russ. What are your thoughts on this? What do you think this means for the cryptocurrency space?
I mean, it's excellent. You have now you have a major company into this, right? And there are also other hedge funds that are getting in that are buying crypto too. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean it's awesome. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
But on
but
that note,
I'm,
though, real quick, I think this is a little different because some of those hedge funds aren't like aren't things that a lot of people know. Like hedge funds are like people that operate in the dark, so to speak. Like their head to average per year. At least I know in the hood in Philly, everybody uses Cash App. Everybody knows who
mhm.
Square is. So this news hit a little different. And I could tell just from my timeline. I'm like, I said the same thing you said. I said, well, the funds have been on this, but this news was a little different because it's Square. Like, would you agree with that?
Yeah, you are right, man. Everybody I know use Cash App. You know, so you know if Cash App is buying, they're using it. You know,
Yeah.
that's automatic credibility right there. You know,
So
Yeah.
yeah. So
Go ahead,
where
Core.
who you see some of the institutional places are storing it? Like who you know, Camille, if you would know who's storing the who else? I
Well,
know J.P. Morgan and the other few other companies are, you know,
I'm not.
hedge funds like that are storing some. Who else is storing it?
Well, I know that the largest holder of Bitcoin right now is the Grayscale Investment Trust. They own
Yep.
2.2% of the outstanding supply of Bitcoin. Like they've been going heavy, just buying. Actually, I can't. I guess I can't post in the comments, but I found I found this website today that like lists some of the companies, the publicly traded companies that are storing Bitcoin, and like Square is actually one of the smallest, like, but the largest one is the Grayscale Investment Trust, and so like I said, they've been very aggressive, just buying. I think right now they're mining like the miner are mining 900 Bitcoin a day, and I want to say they're buying like damn near all of it. Like the Grayscale Investment Trust,
Well,
they're going
on
heavy.
that list, is there any names that we would recognize? See, that's the thing about some of these hedge funds and big institutions. Like the average consumer, doesn't know what that is.
Um,
But is there any?
let me just check that out real quick. I know Square obviously is the most like the most recognizable, and so that it was such a big deal. I mean, you had I guess MicroStrategies bought like 450 million like a month or two ago, but they weren't as known. But Square, it was like like yo, it just
Yeah.
got up,
Is
and
it
then
is it Bitcoin? The BitcoinTreasures.org? Is that the site you're talking about?
BitcoinTreasures.org.
Okay, I'll post that. I'll post that in the comments. So the folks can
But
take a look at that.
yeah, but this
So you gotta change over from chat to comments. I think to be able to
Yeah.
post in the comments.
I think I'm not
I
logged
just
in.
posted it though. I posted it for him. Yeah, I
Okay.
posted it for him. Don't even worry about that. It's posted into the comments already. So that's interesting, right? Because institutions have been in the space, but now you have something. And I was wondering, I said, is that a Philly thing? Like, listen, in the hood, people don't use Venmo. People don't use all these other services. They don't even use PayPal, but Cash App is like a thing, man. Like, yo, listen, I don't know if it's like that in every hood, but in the hood in Philly, like, yo, Cash App me. It's a verb at this point. Like, so
Yeah.
I saw people that like have no idea what it is who were hitting me up, like, yo, what's up with this Bitcoin? I'm like, you're a couple years late, but I'm glad you asked. So I think it's interesting. No, but I just think that it's interesting to see that, right? And Jack Dorsey, who is the CEO of both Square and Twitter, he's a huge advocate of Bitcoin. If you've never seen his interview with Joe Rogan, it's something to watch, the way he talks about Bitcoin. And also, if you ever just go to his Twitter page is @Jack. His whole Twitter bio just says Bitcoin. That's all it says. It just says Bitcoin. I'm like, so he's all in, right? So he's all in. But my question is, what does this do for the overall space though? Because everybody's talking about Bitcoin, but we all know there's other coins in the space. Like, what do you think this does for the space overall, Russ?
what I'm hoping, that it'll do is get more of our people into it. You understand? Because right, yesterday, I commented on someone's post where they were talking about Killer Mike's as a bank, right? And my comment was, Bitcoin, you could become your own bank. And it was so many brothers and sisters against me. I was like, wow.
Yo,
You know?
I just want you to know real quick. I just want you to know that I saw that. That wasn't even on your page. That was in a random group. I'm actually in that group, and I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, look at Russ out here fighting these people." And you know, you and the brother was going at it, and you started like shooting him links. I'm just sitting there laughing, like I don't know why they started. I was like, because you know, Russ gonna link him to death. You hit him with all the articles. I saw that. It wasn't like the Black Coalition or something, whatever one of them groups it was. But I did see that.
They don't realize I don't work. I don't have anything better to do. You know.
Yeah, you told him he was like, you know, people pay me for my advice. I was dying.
I know you seen that, John. Wow, but you
listen,
know,
I see everything, man. I see everything. I'm East Murray, man.
I see from the north, south, east, west. But
no, but
you know, I think what we need. I think what'll really get more people into the crypto is explaining what currency is, the difference between money and currencies. Because we were only taught that the currency is the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
Currency.
Everybody's stuck on that, man. When you explain the difference between currency and money, people still don't get it. Like anything you can trade for another thing, that's currency. Like, you know what I mean? Like your reputation is currency. So is your time. Anything you could trade for something else is currency. It's not just money. And so people don't understand the difference between currency and money. You know what I mean?
I think also just the understanding of value. Like value is perception. Like the dollar, it only has value because of we all have agreed that it has value. If we didn't agree that it has value, then it doesn't have value. I mean, that goes for anything. So Bitcoin, I mean, it's digital currency, and it only has value because the market says it has value because somebody's willing to pay something for it. Like I don't know this thing right here. I mean, this could, if somebody said, "Oh, I'll pay you $10,000 for this," and they'll give me $10,000 for it, that means it has 10,000 worth of value. But if somebody's only going to give me 50 cents for it, then it has 50 cents worth of value. I mean, value is just what somebody's willing to pay for something, and an agreement between two parties who just what they're willing to transfer for it. So if we can get a better understanding of value, I mean, that's like the basic understanding. When I first got into crypto, the very first, like I took a Bitcoin course, and the very first thing they talked about was value. Like, and it was just, I mean, I'm familiar with value, but just for them just to introduce like first thing value, that like, it's just, what is value? What do we truly value? Like that's the beginning conversation, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Both of you guys make a great point. Understanding value, and also understanding the difference between currency or money, right? And I think you have to take a step back when you start to explain what it is, because people have been brainwashed. Like, in terms of they don't understand that it's literally just green paper. And when you read history and you see that every paper currency has went to zero, and you put it in a historical context. Now, granted, we're in a different time, and I don't know if we'll ever get to TF moment they call it. Ish hits the fan. I don't know if we'll ever get there. But I do see our dollar losing value, like every year. Our dollar's just losing value. You know what I mean? So I see it, and that's why you have to have something that's a hedge, which is why I'm interested in not only crypto, but the precious metals for that same reason. It's all for the same reason. But I think that what Kamil said is interesting too, because there's so many people at this point who have bought into the crypto space. I don't see this going anywhere because there's a community of people. I mean, I literally know people right now. Nobody over here, but I know some folks on the West Coast who are living off of crypto. Like this is they use as a means of exchange. You know what I mean? So it's we're in a different world. And things are moving fast. You know what I mean? Things moving fast, man. Things are moving fast, right? So I know. Go ahead.
answer what you were talking about. Like, what does Square do? Like, what does it do for like crypto? The crypto space just adds credibility. Like when you a brand that everybody knows, it's like they have nothing to gain from it either way, but they're adding just confirmation.
But see, my thing is by them adding credibility, it adds value to their crypto that they bought. So it's not like they're, it's a twofold for them, because them being in the space, because Grayscale has been in the space for years, and those other companies have probably been in the space way longer, but they don't have the same cachet as Square does. Square is hot in the market, and so people recognize Square because they use Square every single day. They cash app and they whatever, all the products that Square has, people use those products. And so when a company that has products that you use gets into a space that you're unfamiliar with, it gives you an opportunity or a impetus to get into that same space the same way they did. And so that's just going to bring it further and further into the it's going to help the penetration, because I was just reading that Bitcoin only has 0.5% market penetration. That's berserk.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's berserk.
If I'm not mistaken, the Apple's market cap is bigger than the whole cryptocurrency.
It is.
So hey,
that's crazy. Even the surface yet. So that means that we're still early.
Yeah, we at the very, very early stages. Because it's like when ATMs first came out, right? He was like, man, what the hell? I'm going to the bank to get my money. And now you can't go nowhere where an ATM is not at, right? And that's the same thing with Bitcoin ATMs, right? Now I'm seeing Bitcoin ATMs all over the place. Like when I was in Philly, I know it was at least 10 places in Philly that had a Bitcoin ATM. The first one I seen was in DC. I was in DC and I put my card in to get money out, and then next thing you know, I had another 200 Bitcoin in my account because I didn't even know that it was a Bitcoin machine.
Mm.
So, but the crazy part is, like, so there's been Bitcoin machines in Philly for years. I used the Bitcoin machine in 17 on Ridge Avenue.
Yep.
Right in the Dunkin' Donuts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Aki with the Dunkin' Donuts on Ridge Ave. He had a Bitcoin machine for years at this point. But real quick, you got a couple folks checking in. Want to make sure we shout them out. Let's see what we got here.
Hey, Roby,
what's going on? How are you, sis? We also got our brother. Kamari, man, we was talking about you earlier, man. We was disrespecting you. We was disrespecting Ford. Anytime Ford comes up, we gotta mention you. You know what I'm saying? Now, if Ford blows up one day, you're gonna get all that credit too. Like if Ford goes to $70 a share, we're gonna have all this old content stuck on the nets of us trashing you. But Kamari makes a couple of points. We are in a totally different time. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
And yeah, this is facts. The dollar losing value makes it easier for U.S. products and services to be sold abroad. Great point.
Yep.
Great point.
That helps us.
Square is positioning itself to be able to do more cryptocurrency trading, so they can make more money off the fees. Hey, listen, their stock went up this week too.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
They made money all kinds of different ways.
Yeah.
The ATMs everywhere, man.
Especially
LaRonda, what's good? How are you?
It's interesting,
especially down here in Texas. Like in Houston, you almost see them at every store.
Oh, really? Is that, Corey, you made a point about like just how early it is in the crypto space. I was talking to Malik this week, and we were just going. Me and him go back and forth all the time about nonsense. But I was telling him about like online shopping, and I was reading a statistic that says it's about only a little over 20% of people shop online. So online shopping hasn't even really taken off yet. Believe that or not. That sounds crazy, doesn't it? Like living in the pandemic, see how many people shop online. It says only like 22 or 23, somewhere in the 20 percentile range of people.
15 years ago, that's like it was like 0.5%. Like, so in a 15-year span, that's what I'm saying. It went from 0.5% to or 25% or whatever it is. Can you imagine how big crypto would be if it went from 0.5% to 25%, just like online shopping did? The numbers that means is amazing, which means if you get in at any point right now, at any level, you basically turn yourself into a millionaire. You just basically
now before we jump to the next thing, I just want to put this out there. This is not financial advice. We are not financial advisors. So please don't take anything we say. We're just four brothers. We're just four brothers who are investors ourselves having a conversation. And this was a great conversation to have this week because of the news of Square. But you know, that to me was really interesting. I was like, damn, because sometimes you get caught and you get like, you know, stuck in your echo chamber. Everybody I know shops online, so I just assume everybody shops online. But when you look at the data shows a different story. Like, you know, majority of people still are afraid to shop online. I mean, that's crazy. That means that Amazon still has a lot of room to grow. That's a whole other story, whole side note, you know, with that statistic.
Etsy and Shopify and all of those other things. That's why they can all be in the same space, even with Amazon being dominant in the space.
Yeah, man. So Russell, I know you can ready to say something. What you can ready to say?
Man, the total coin market cap right now is only 357 billion, right? And Apple is 1.9 trillion.
When you say the total coin market cap, that's all coins?
All coins together.
It's 5,000 coins.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, we're early. You know what I'm saying? We're very early on this. You know.
Wow. That's crazy.
You know,
that's crazy, man.
I believe once they come out with this, with these, when the Feds come out with the digital dollar, that's when Bitcoin is really going to take off. Yeah, because people are not going to want to be tracked.
Mm-hmm. Stock is a secondary benefit. The benefit is its core business. We have another question coming via Facebook. Says, how much for a Bitcoin ATM? That's a good question. I know Bitcoin Zay, who we had on our podcast.
Yeah.
He has a connect with Bitcoin ATMs. Crazy part is they probably shot up at this point.
Yeah. When we talked to him last year, he gave us a range, you know, a range of numbers, you know, depending upon, you know, what condition, you know, you get the ATM in. But that number probably way different right now.
Yeah, shoot us an inbox. We'll put you in touch with the brother we know that actually does that. Kamil, maybe that's our next move after we cop this node, cop a couple millions. You know, really take advantage of the space. I'll tell you one thing: the fees on this machine. That's why I don't use the machines, though. I've had. Go ahead.
I thought about getting them before, but it was just like storing them, like the storing it, the security around it, that whole thing. Like I don't have like a you know, I don't have like retail, that type of retail business where like that's already happening. So like for instance, our tax stores, we're only really open heavy like 4 or 5 months out of the year. The rest of the time it's like, you know, it's open season. And you know, I just didn't feel like trying to, especially with crypto now, where you can make money with these type of without having any type of hardware, just you know, off of staking or getting interest or, you know, yield, you know, new thing, yield farming or whatever the case may be. Like it's ways you could do it without having that without having to have that actual device. So that's kind of why also why
I want to talk about that too. I want to talk about that. Kamari says 95% of retail sales is brick and mortar, but it's growing quickly. That's, to me, that's like, and the data shows that, but it's like, it's just, I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only one taken aback by that. Like, I'm like, damn, I just know more people shop online, and you know, it is what it is, man. Rich, they always doubt new tech. They said nobody would give up their horses for horses, carriages, aka cars. It's a Henry Ford quote. Speaking of Ford, he says something like when he invented the Model T, like if he would have listened to everybody else, he would have something along the lines of what they asked me for was a faster horse, not a car or something like that. But to your point, though, people are always afraid of new tech.
Yeah, same thing with electricity. You know what I'm saying? When it first came out, no one wanted it. You know, the salespeople had to literally go to farms and show that the electricity fooled the chickens and hens into laying more eggs. That was the only way they could get their first sale.
Crazy shit you find out on a Friday evening.
I mean, it's the truth. You know,
700 to 14K. That's a range right there, Don. All right, so here we got another comment here about some ETFs. Are any of you guys familiar with these ETFs?
I
iBuy,
only know. I
O1LN.
only know about clicks. I follow clicks.
Okay, what
Actually,
ETF is that?
Clicks is the online ETF. So it got like Amazon and Etsy and Shopify and all of those in one ETF.
Okay, looking at those names, I assume that's what all those are. Appreciate that comment. That's a good comment. So I guess that, I mean, if that's the case, it must be the time to start looking at them too. I've never heard of none of them, but you know, with still so much growth left, that's what's shocking to me. Is like it's still that much growth left.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Let's see. So who else we got checking in real quick?
Yo,
homie, Everett, what's up, bro? How you? Okay, we got Richard says that Current Wars movie touches on that.
Current Wars.
What movie is that? Current Wars. It's called Current Wars. I gotta check that out. I've never seen that. And Malik saying the same bias online retailers. Yeah. So real quick though, Kamil and both Russells, because so Kamil, you brought up a point, and Russell was talking to me before we came on. He was telling me you know, shout out to Rich too, because I think Rich is the one that told me about this as well. We're talking about like different ways. Rich is the first person I saw making money staking, and I was like, yo, I gotta get some Tezos because everybody over here staking, making bread, and I'm not. I got a little FOMO on that one. You know, I try to stay away from FOMO, but I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Rich, but
all facts.
But what were you telling me before we came on, Rush? You were talking about you were talking about Ethereum, but you were talking about a couple things in terms of being able to use your cryptocurrency to make passive income.
Yeah. There's a coin called Explosive Ethereum. Okay. Now, you know, the price is set at 0.01 Ethereum, I think, right? And the deal with this is if it goes up beyond that, you get what's called a positive rebase, which means you get free tokens. You understand? And even if it goes down, right, they have a mechanism in place, right, that'll shoot the coin back up, right? And I had bought some a couple days ago, right? And you know, I woke up with 50% more coins, right, this morning, right, that I got for free. You know what I'm saying? And and you know what I also like about this coin, you know how most coins, you know, the developers and the marketing team own them. You know, and when they to a certain point, you know, they just dump them on, you know, retail. You know, the developers and the marketing team don't own a lot of them coins. They only own about maybe 10% of them. You know, the rest is, you know, out there for us to buy.
So is this similar to staking? Is it similar to staking, or what's actually taking place though? If you could explain that.
I don't really understand how it works, but how I'll explain it to you is like you said, if it goes above 0.01, price goes above 0.01 Ethereum, you know, they just start handing out tokens, you know, to everyone.
Are you familiar with this, Bill?
Huh?
I was just trying to look it up. I haven't heard of Explosive Ethereum, but I mean, I know of a number of different strategies where you can, you know, where you can get coins or make returns on your investment. There's a number of them right now. I mean, so you had this, you know, I guess snuck up on everyone. Well, at least snuck up on me. DeFi, decentralized finance, which is like, you know, basically making money on the Ethereum. Well, trying to move what's called the bankless movement, which meaning, you know, not having to use banks for anything, but you know, they've developed all these different strategies. So one strategy, just to give you, is like yield farming. So yield farming is you might take some Ethereum and some Ethereum and lock it up on straight from your either MetaMask or your Ledger wallet, and you deposit your Ethereum into a smart contract. And for doing that, you're rewarded tokens, like it could be like, say for instance on compound down finance, which started out very popular but isn't as popular anymore because there's other opportunities out there. But let's say on compound, you go to compound, you stake your, let's say, BAT, your basic attention
token, yeah.
You stake your BAT. If somebody wants to borrow your BAT, they can borrow your BAT, and you get paid interest, and the interest is more BAT. But on top of that, you get you yield farm the compound token. And so like at one point, because BAT was like paying the highest amount, it went to like it was like a 27% return you were getting in BAT tokens on top of the compound. So that's like one thing that's been going on. And then you have the but then there's other, like, just so many different yield farming strategies and opportunities that have come out there. Like one as recent as Uniswap, which is like a decentralized exchange that really just took over, like now has more trading volume than Coinbase, Gemini, all those things. But they released their Uni token, but now you can take a combination of a stable token like USDC and Ethereum, the same amount of dollar amount. You store them in your you provide liquidity. You provide liquidity to the trading pool so that other people could trade without there being a middleman. And for providing liquidity, they're going to reward you with an LP token that you get a percentage off of every trade. But now you can take that LP token, lock it up on a smart contract, and they're going to reward you the Uni token. So your yield farming Uni token. So I mean, they got a lot of different stuff going on right now.
Yo, that's next level. They really. So when you tell me this, and I'm following along, right? The first thing I'm thinking of is, how are the banks going to respond to this, right? I guess it's still going to take a while for any sort of mass adoption, but
that's why BitMEX just got, I don't know if you know the CEO of BitMEX that you went to Penn, a brother that went to Penn living out in Japan. But he got, they shut down BitMEX. They not shut it down, they fined them, but they did something where they arrested one of the people in New York, and that was one of the owners in New York, and then they charged them with some type of banking. The Department of Justice charged them with some type of banking charges, and there was a whole like Twitter thread that kind of broke down why it was so important, this particular charge. It wasn't like securities fraud, but it was like banking fraud, where the government felt like BitMEX was helping people launder money, so they went after them on that. Which I think
you gotta send me that thread. That'd be an interesting thing to read, because that's the first thing that comes to mind. They're gonna have to like do something with this, man. Real quick, because I want to keep this conversation going, but I also want to make sure we get the folks on. Jalil, what's up? I love what y'all doing here with all this information, man. Appreciate your support, man. Definitely appreciate your support.
Love.
Absolutely. And for those out, please hit the like button for me. Please help us fight the algos. You know what I'm saying?
Hit
so I
like
don't have to
share.
be on the cover, like, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kamari, man. My brother Kamari teaches me how to beat the algos with your thumbnail. But the technology adoption curve proves true every time. So
then I mean, there's some other things. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna read a couple comments off. He says he's talking about rebasing, man. And this young brother right here, Port City Trading Desk, he was on our show as well. This is a young brother killing it. That's right, Fred with the cheese. He's out here killing it. Owns rental properties. He's in the precious metals and cryptocurrency, and this is a young brother too. And he's out of Canada, so salute to him. But he says Google Ampleforth. I guess that'll help us get answers to those questions that Russ was talking about.
There's a new. I didn't even know this thing existed. I'm not super knowledgeable on it, but there's something called like Ponzi-nomics that I think Ampleforth is one of those Ponzi-nomics tokens where it's like it's guaranteed to like go up. Somehow, some way they do it. I'm not exactly sure how they do it, but I didn't even know that was a thing. But that's what I have some Ampleforth for myself, like just a little touch of it.
Yo, the crazy thing about the crypto space, man, is like the smartest people are working in here. That's another reason why I believe as an industry that it's going to be here for a while. So a lot of the cats that would go work at Google or Amazon or Facebook, they're not going there anymore. I was reading an article about Facebook losing so much talent to all the crypto startup and how they were going to combat that. I mean, I guess that's probably why they try to start their own. Like, let's just start our own, like, because they're losing a lot of talent.
You can print your own money. I mean, you could print your own. It's like why would you go you can create any of these people that just created DeFi tokens that had no value. Now you create your own, technology behind it, your own program language, and then you create all tokens, and you own like millions of them. So as soon as liquidity is added, that's why you had all these these dumps, these exit scams, because you didn't do anything to make this thing. You just did program some code, and now you got millions of it, and it's millions of dollars, and now you just like you sell it. And so it's been so many pump and dumps in the DeFi space is why it's a little crazy, a little hectic, because I mean it's just you create money out of
you gotta wait to the BS. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How come ain't nobody adopt Guap coin yet though? You know what I mean? Russian Guap coin? Rick says the DeFi stuff is real.
Yeah, also if anyone needs help, going through Uniswap, I can help free.
Definitely.
Because there are fake.
Okay, yeah.
There are actually fake coins being sold, on Uniswap,
right?
And the Binance Uniswap, et cetera, And
so that's one of the downsides of the space, right? It's almost like the Wild Wild West. Like everything's open up, so that it's like it's a new frontier. It's almost like the gold rush, but then you got all sorts of like fraud and stuff going on.
Yeah,
and I mean, and Rich, the same thing I was thinking about, like the banks, right? The banks are going to have to step in because this is not a game.
You know how I feel about the cabal.
The
banks is not giving up that easy. They is not giving it up that easy.
All right, so here's a comment. Here's a comment from Port City Trading Fred. He says, you buy a percentage of supply. So when the price goes above a certain price, more coins are added to the supply. Therefore, you get more coins. Incentivizes people to sell to bring the price down.
Yeah. But here's the deal with that, right? Here's the deal with it, right? They have a 7.66%, fee. You know what I'm saying? If you sell.
If price goes below a certain price, you lose coins. Incentivize people to buy more coins, bringing price up. That sounds a little fishy, man.
Well, you can go on CoinMarketCap now, or Masari, or CoinGecko, and they all have a yield farming or DeFi link that'll show you like what the APRs on different strategies, but they fluctuate from day to day just because of all the different moving parts to it. But you can see where you want to do. I've done just more like Ethereum, like basic Ethereum stuff, or like stable coins, which are like USDT, USDC stuff that's not really like I'm not really trying to get the highest yield because I feel like that's the most risky. But if I can, a stable coin ain't moving. Only risk you really have with a stable coin is the smart contract failing, or the stuff behind the stable coin failing. So I've been kind of like just keeping it simple.
Some of them stables are backed by like some big institutions. Hayden says, check out the ETF GBTC. It's a cryptocurrency ETF. A long-term call option might be the move on that one. Kamari ain't lying about this one, yo. He said, scared of anything with Ponzi in it. What did you say it was called, Kamil? Ponzi what?
Ponzi-nomics.
Yeah. That does sound crazy.
That sounds shady as
hell. Y'all could have thought of us though. Hey, what's going on? How are you? Glad you with us. Teshua.
The Teshua was put the token. Yeah, the boy made what's the name? Made it based on selling water. He made a coin based on selling water.
Crazy.
All right, shout out to Antonio. Antonio was on what I said last week. He says, trust the banks and government already funding this space. They just let all the startups kill each other off like the Hunger Games. Yeah, man.
What's a non-fungible token?
Non-fungible. Okay, one of you guys want to explain that one?
Let me see.
That's the next wave at the DeFi. I guess like
they're basically like coins. They're coins that you can you can actually buy stuff. Like let's say if you have something of value, right? You have a painting. You can put it in an NFT and people will buy it from you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I saw them online. I saw people doing sneakers and paintings, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. Like one of them coins went from one of them NFT coins went from $9 to $300.
Right. It's like being able to just create a unique item on a token. Like the Ethereum, the main like smart contract network uses the ERC20 token, which is like everything is the same. Every ERC20 token is the same. If it's like every BAT token is the same, but the NFTs are like a different protocol. I forget what it's called, but anyway, every one of those are unique. So you can create something unique on using EFT NFT and give it value, like whatever it is. Once again, get back to value, like because they're doing a lot in games, like a lot of crypto games and stuff like that. You can buy unique things, and people are paying crazy amounts of crypto for unique stuff, and it's going to be more and more and more to come. So it's interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that is interesting, man.
Like kids can play like Call of Duty, right, and make up their own weapon, and they can keep it because the games don't let them do that. They can put them on in an NFT, and they can actually have their weapons. Like because crypto gaming is going to be very huge in the near future.
Like shout out to
man,
Tesla.
y'all taking me too far in the future, man. Y'all scared me.
Man, listen, man. This is so interesting to me, like because I want to know where the money being made, so I can get in on the bottom floor before the elevator go up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like. I don't want to catch the elevator on the top floor, man.
I think the most interesting thing about this conversation to me is that we see an industry being built, we see value being created, and a lot of our folks need to be involved in this because, like, we see it. It's like being built on our faces. That to me is what's interesting. When you talk about all these things, and a lot of us have talked about how the banks are already getting involved. I know that the US what's the stable token on Coinbase? USDC, is it?
USDC, yeah, USDC.
Yeah. That's backed by Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean? Like, so they're already in the space.
But isn't Goldman Sachs isn't a funder of Coinbase, like one of the first
yeah. It might at this point, yeah. So that's why Coinbase.
That's why we always Coinbase is the feds.
Yep.
Hashtag Coinbase is the feds. Like, they're already in. Listen, Goldman Sachs is Goldman Sachs is like, there's a documentary, I think it's on YouTube, about Goldman Sachs and how closely tied they are to the government itself.
Yeah.
Like, their executives
how they rule the world, basically. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah. You saw that? Okay. Yeah. So
real quick to you were talking about like Black America, more of us getting involved. Like, I don't know why it didn't happen or not, but in one of the groups I'm in, it was a guy works for Square, and he was saying how like August 11th, the guy who's the black guy that wrote that book, Bitcoin. He was on your show, I think, like
Bitcoin Zay. Yeah.
Him and Jack Dorsey. It was supposed to be August 11th. Was supposed to be the day that every black person was supposed to buy some Bitcoin. I don't know why it never manifested, but that was supposed to be pushing that out and to push all of us to buy some kind of crypto on that day. But I don't know what happened with that. But
yeah.
He was on Twitter. He was on Twitter promoting it, but he got, he probably got 30 or 40,000 Twitter followers, or maybe 50,000. It's billions. I mean, there's millions of us. You know what I mean? Like,
but I guess to Kamil's point is it should have picked up more traction. But but the thing is, though, I want to shout him out too, because he put me down with a Fold. I was talking to him earlier this week. He put me last week or the week before, whatever it was. He put me down with Fold, and Fold allows you, gives you a Visa card and allows you to make purchases, and you get rebates in Bitcoin. And I've already earned Bitcoin just from like doing stuff that I would do anyway. So shout out to Bitcoin saying, yeah, I mean, a funny thing is I sent it to a couple people. Camille was like, "Oh, I already got that." I was like, "Okay."
yeah, you sent it to me, and I signed up. I'm waiting for my card to come.
All right, shout out, yo, that's what's up. That's dope. So, I mean, we know where this is going, man. Let me see. So, Rich says that so you can buy land using mana tokens, and the land actually appreciates. What?
Wow.
Decentraland. It's a game called Decentraland where you can buy land using tokens, and the land actually appreciates. Based on what?
Right.
Perception of value. The perception of value. I mean, that's all it is.
Remember, the crypto world is nothing but speculation.
All currency speculation.
So, the whole world is. shout out to y'all folks, and it's for real. We need more black people in crypto. I think when things really take off, this would be the biggest transfer of wealth in our lifetime.
I always say that too. But I think the problem with our people is fear.
I mean, when you can't afford to make a mistake, it's kind of hard to invest. It's kind of hard to invest in a future asset when you can't eat today. It's hard. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is to get people a bigger bag so they can invest.
Well, I think also that there's a certain barrier of entry in crypto that isn't in like other assets, at least initially, especially when I got in, probably when y'all got in as well. Like it wasn't easy, but I know like with Square now you can just press a button and buy it. But then it's also like just understanding like what you bought, but also like liquidity. Like I hear people talk about put money in things and this and that, but if something's liquid, you can get your money at any time, get your money back at any time. You can convert it what you are. So I think the fear of just knowing like you have liquidity, like you can change it to whatever you want at any given point. So you don't have to worry about like, what am I losing? And then also people hear Bitcoin, $10,000, $11,000. I can't afford that. Well, like my first Bitcoin buy was $30. Like I got in the game with $30. So you can get in, you don't need large amounts of money to get exposure to crypto. I've helped people set up like $25 a week on an automatic buy on Coinbase. Y'all like Coinbase, but automatic buys. It's not, you don't need large amounts of money to get in the space. You just gotta get in the space.
That's a great point, because I remember back in 2016, like just to like with Coinbase, I remember trying to set up a Binance account and they was asking for like, scan your ID and send in some blood. It was like nuts. It was like, crazy. You had to, and I did all of it. Send us your first time. You gotta like hold. It was like you was held hostage. You got to hold up a paper with today's date with your picture on it. I'm like, come on, man. Dude, I'm just trying to get to this. I was just trying to get to that shrine, man. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get to this shrine. What is y'all doing, man? You know what I mean? So it was absolutely, that's a great point though. Now you just open your Cash App and press the button. Goldman Sachs is part of the group that selects the president. Yep. I'm gonna leave that alone for they come on here with that COINTELPRO. They already messing with me and Corey, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm just gonna show that comment. Wow, so first says facts. I'm on Decentraland. You can rent out your land crypto monthly. Hold up, man. Yo, y'all gotta put me down with this.
Yeah, I need to get on this game. I need my kids on this game. I gotta get my kids on the game.
Where do you play? Where do you play the game at? Like, is it? I guess it's online, obviously. But like, are you on this, Russ?
Where?
I'm thinking about getting. I was thinking about putting the kids in here on them, man, because they're.
Yeah, man, my kids got to get on this.
That's all they do.
Watch this all day. They're home anyway because of the pandemic. I got to get them on this, man. I got 5 computers in my house. You can be on Decentraland all day.
It sound like Black Mirror, man.
Yeah, man. Right? Like I got 3 kids. There's 3 TVs plus 2 computers. In the game room.
See, I'm afraid of something like that. I might get caught in the second world where y'all don't see me no more. Like, where Jim now? He living in a whole different planet now. He living on Decentraland. it's like what's the HBO joint? Where they be in the West? Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I know you're talking. I can't think of name or something.
Yeah, I'll be like people getting stuck in that world. I'm stuck in a whole nother world, man. Out here trying to rent my property. I'm over here tycooning on Decentraland. Crypto is just exposing the matrix that is called currency. That is an excellent point, man. Yep. Listen, I'm telling you, like, I love all asset classes. Everybody knows I'm a real estate guy. Real estate is my thing. But one of the joys that I have now is studying cryptocurrency and also studying metals, because they like meet each other. It's this high collinearity between the two. But because also they're outside of the system, so to speak, unless you go to Coinbase and you're still dealing with the feds. But outside of that, you can literally operate outside the system. And when I see that and see how people are utilizing this technology, I was telling Corey before we came on about, I found a way now to even buy fractional pieces of metals until you get to the full piece and then get it sent to you. Like, technology is changing everything. Antonio, I got your question about the Bitcoin rebate card. I'm gonna send you some info as soon as we get off here. First, I'm in the early stages, but it's like a virtuality game. Developers can buy land, build casinos, malls, etc. You can buy land and rent to developers to build stuff on your land. Yo, That is absolutely insane. Kamari, that's it. Westworld. Yeah, man. Y'all gonna have me like Westworld on the Central Land, man. Okay, so for those want to know, here's the site here, decentralland.org. I see where I'm gonna spend my night at.
Right.
By the time y'all talk to me next week, man, I'm gonna be a tycoon on the Central Land, man.
Yeah, right.
I guess
I'm
you
gonna
could
have a
probably
whole
need some
city built.
Ethereum and
I'm gonna have a
something on
city
there,
built on the Central Land.
So listen, before we get out of here, though, I gotta ask you this, Kamil. So Kamil, Corey, and I are a part of a Black investment group, and one of the decisions we made as a group is to get involved in the crypto space, to take our portfolio and put a percentage of it in the crypto space. And Kamil came up with the idea. Yo, Kamil, I was telling Malik the other day. I said, yo, Kamil always like somewhere else. Kamil like thinks it's in another level. I was thinking about just buying a couple Bitcoins. He was like, yo, let's get a whole node. And I want to talk about that in 1 second. But I talk to Malik all the time, and Malik has these ideas where they're just like way out of here, right? And I was like, so I asked him, I said, when you and Kamil talk, what kind of ideas do y'all come up with? Because I know Kamil's like in 2030, and you got these wild ideas. I was like, y'all probably got us on Mars when y'all have conversations. What kind of stuff do y'all talk about? But that's either here nor there. But
Malik's ideas are always bigger than mine. Trust me.
Yo, Malik has Malik's ideas like, just be like, what makes you think of that? He always got the ideas, but you be in the future somewhere with your ideas. So you say, yo, instead of buying coins, let's buy a whole node, right?
I was just thinking, like all the stuff that's happening on the Ethereum network, like that. There's that website. I forget, it's like crypto fees or some crypto.fees or something like that. I have to get the link at some point, but it's just showing like all the actual fees that are being the transactions, and with Ethereum and DeFi, all that stuff that was happening. You had every Ethereum transaction, every time you try to send something, buy something, it costs gas. And sending it at one point last month, it was costing like, I don't know, like $20-$30 to send like $50. Like, so it was almost like prohibitive unless you had like thousands and thousands of dollars. But Ethereum still brought in like hundreds of millions of dollars in fees last month, if not more than that. I think in the last few days, it might have just been millions of fees. At least like every 7-day period, they were killing it with fees. Well, Ethereum is trying to move away from the proof of work and ETH 2.0. They're trying to move away from proof of work, which means it's a way of creating Ethereum or mining Ethereum, but you need like electricity and you need hardware to do that. But with ETH 2.0, they're going to go to staking. But to stake, you need I don't know all the technical terms, but you need a node, and you need to be able to validate transactions on this node. But for them to be able to have like a trustworthy node and believe that you have like skin in the game, you have to lock up 32 Ethereum on this node. But by having this node, you're going to receive fees off of all the transactions that are happening in the network. Not to mention if the value of Ethereum goes up, so you're getting like a double win. And I'm always trying to figure out like just different ways where I can make money without, buying assets that pay you money. And the one thing about crypto is Tezos or whatever, like you don't have to do anything. Like once you set it up, you receive it, and it's just a matter of you sell it or whatever the case may be. So I was just thinking like, well, why not forget? I don't know which crypto token on Ethereum, which DeFi token is going to do what and do this, but I know the base asset is Ethereum. And why not put myself in position or put ourselves in positions to get a percentage of the Ethereum network? So that was just my whole.
This is almost like becoming your own bank. So instead of out there doing the investments, you're going to sit back and just collect. Another way to put it. So your idea was, let's just become our own bank. We pull our money together to buy assets. Let's pull our money together to buy a whole node. I thought that was genius, and I think that if we're able to pull this off, that's going to put us in a great position. And you said something that's interesting too, right? About staking Tezos and like how it's boring, right? So Tezos is the only. I'll put it out there because again, this is not investment advice. It's just what we do. I only own four coins: Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum, and Tezos. And I was telling Russ before we came on, the reason why Tezos, the other one, is because I read the white paper. It made so much sense, and I love what they're doing. And also, you could blame Rich for this, who's in the chat. I wanted the staking and see how staking works. And staking is just what you said. You stake your coin and you get paid, and it's just that boring. But shout out to Antonio, who's also in the chat. Antonio says something a couple weeks ago, and we had him on our show. and it really set with me when I watched it back, and I've been thinking about it. And what he said was, he was talking about, so Antonio is a brother who's been trading stocks for 25 years or something like that. He's trades options, trade stocks. He said that when you get good at investing and trading, it's actually boring, right? And I was thinking about that. He said, because a lot of times when you first get into something, you're so excited, you're doing this, you're doing that. But when you got really good at it, it's really boring. You know, you figure out a system where you just do something that's going to make you money, but overall it's really boring. And that set with me. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of how this node thing is. If we set it up right, we're going to be able to collect these fees, and it'll be boring, but it's a way to generate revenue. So I just think that's an interesting thing, this whole ETH 2.0 that we're going to, and I can't wait to see how this whole thing plays out when everything's set up. Go to the central land and buy the hood. Yo, Rich says this though. He says, once ETH 2.0 is done, he's thinking the price is going to explode. All right,
Amen.
so here's Antonio here. He says that I keep it real simple. I just loaded up on Ethereum because of smart contracts about 3 years ago and walked away. We'll come back in about 20 years. See, that's what Antonio was about. That listen, set it up and then walk off. You know what I mean? He's talking about being a Visa, being a toll bridge that collects a percentage of each transaction. That's the lick.
Yep.
Yeah, it was dope that brought that to the table. And you know, that ETH 2.0 is something that we should be looking forward to. So, but before we get out of here, gentlemen, I'm gonna ask both of you guys, what's something going on in the space that people should be doing research on or looking out for, in your opinion? I'm gonna start with you, Russ. Like, because Russ, you're in the markets every day, scalping and trading and looking at these things. You've given us a couple things. What do you think of? You can name one thing that you think people should look at. What would it be?
I would tell people Link. You know, look at Link, man. Link is an awesome coin, man. I mean, so many.
You always talk about Link. You're very bullish on Link. You're very bullish on Link. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, because I mean,
okay. So look at Link.
All right, Link is partnering up with so many companies. You understand that it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I can see Link going up to $100. You know what I'm saying? Literally. You know, and I'm gonna put that out.
This is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. It's the opinions of Russ. But if it does go there, we're gonna make this. Yeah. Once it hits 100, I'm cutting this clip out. I'll let you know that. You know what I'm saying? That
we're gonna cut the clip and send it back to you.
And also,
yeah. So Corey, let me ask you a question, right? Oh, go ahead, Russ. Okay. You got something else?
Yeah, and staking, you know, stable coins, you know. Because I mean, you're getting 16%, right? And you're only getting 1% from the bank. You know what I'm saying? And they take that away in fees.
Let's back that up real quick, right? Staking a stable coin. Where are you staking it at to get 16%?
Celsius. There's Celsius. There's Aave. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, the Celsius network. Rich told me about that too.
On his page. He puts all of his stuff on his page.
I know. Rich had told me about that too, because I'm one of these cats, man. Again, I'm conservative, old school dude. I leave everything on my ledger. I don't like anything online. And Rich was telling me I need the Celsius. Kamil, I'm dead serious. Everything is on my ledger.
Here's what got me with Celsius, because they are insured by Lloyd's of London, and you know Lloyd's of London is a pretty reputable insurance company.
Interesting.
You know, so you know you really can't lose with that. You know.
Okay. So look at staking. So you're staking a stable coin, which and for the folks that don't know, maybe someone's a novice. Can you explain what a stable coin is?
A stable coin is basically pegged with the US dollar, right? So it doesn't really go up and it really doesn't go down. But you know, to get a 16% return on your money, you know, where else are they doing that at?
16% a year?
Yep.
Okay, that's what the yearly rate, because you're not talking about a daily, a weekly, or monthly rate. You're talking about a yearly rate.
No, still 16% a year.
No. I'm not shitting on 16%. I'm just saying I wanted him to give the time frame on.
I got you.
On the rate.
You know, and you can take your money out at any time. You get paid your interest every week. You know what I'm saying? You know,
so I can take a couple grand of USD. Well, my favorite stable coin is DAI. And I have my reasons for that. I like DAI just because I know it's not backed by the feds, but that's either here nor there. And I forgot I do got DAI. I'm about to say that too. I'm gonna put that out there. I want to be very transparent. I do got DAI, and I also have BAT. But the reason I got BAT is because I use the Brave browser. So Brave just gives me like every month they give me like BAT. So I do have those too. But so those are the two things you say. You say look up Link and also look up staking stable coins. I think that's some things I'm gonna look at myself. Well, Link I actually had before. I liquidated Link and put it all in Tezos. You know what I'm saying? That's back when I was Jeff Tezos before ETH Murray. But but I am want to look at that whole stable coin thing. Is it just USDC or is it any stable coin that you can do that with?
They have quite a few stable coins on there. You know what I'm saying, on Aave and Celsius. And also Celsius token, it came from 5 cents to $1.15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, man.
That's a nice. But
Kamil, before I ask you the same question, I just want to show you these last two comments from Antonio. Says, yeah, we'll get what you help you out. Well, the thing about it is we haven't done it yet, right? We just voted to do it. So we're actually going through that process of doing it. So I guess like once we go through this process, we'll know how it works. And then, at that point, I'm willing to show anybody because I want us all to eat.
Well, the key thing is you need 32 Ethereum. I would just say as long as you have, I would say 33 Ethereum because you're gonna need gas to probably set up, move it around, do whatever. Just as long as you got 33 Ethereum, just hold. That's the foundational element to it.
Got you. So the first thing you gotta do, Antonio, is get that 33 Ethereum. Let me see. 16% a year doubles your money. That's right. Rule of 72. We had a comment up here I never got to, and I'm gonna make sure I go back and answer that comment because it was a question that the comments were flying in though. And I see the brother left another comment, and I don't want him to think that let me see, where's it at? Yeah, but I'm gonna get to you in a second, Kamil, in terms of here it is. He asked, what's the difference between Square Stock and Twitter? So just to explain this, Square and Twitter are two separate companies. They just happen to have the same CEO. So Jack Dorsey is the CEO of both of these publicly traded companies. Imagine that though. Imagine being the CEO of two Fortune 500 companies. Like that's got to be nuts. Like I mean, Elon is a part of like $5 billion companies at this point. So we got real life Iron Man walking around. But that's to answer that question for you. Companies just have the same guy running it, and obviously what those two different services are. And he asked another question right here. He was interested in getting in contact with Russ. Russ, he wants to reach out to you. So what I'll do, Seki, what I'll do is after this is over, I'll go back into the YouTube comments and I'll put Russell's Facebook page so you can get in direct contact with Russ because Russ is willing to like help folks get started or whatever. So like Russ told the boy in the comments yesterday, man, I get paid to get this information. Now, who are you talking to? I'm just like I saw it, bro. I didn't say nothing, but I saw it. I was dying laughing. I didn't see it.
It's one thing that pisses me off, man, when folks try to sway people away from investing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Get that money to working, man. Get that money on the stroll.
Yeah, because I'm gonna start giving free classes on how to navigate through Uniswap.
That's what's
what I'm saying. Using things like Zerion and things like that.
Yeah, man, y'all be living in the future, man. But before you get Kamil, if you had to give the folks one or two things that they should like do some research and look at right now in the crypto space, what would be your advice?
I was trying to think of answer. I mean, only thing I can think is just look up Bitcoin. I mean, just research Bitcoin. Go to Coin Market Cap. Go to it's a website, Masari. You can look at the top. I guess look at Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum. Go to their website page and just read about what they are. I want to say go to YouTube, but it's so much like BS with the real stuff that it's hard to kind of go through. But just kind of get a better understanding of Bitcoin, like the foundation of it, so you can understand what cryptocurrency is. I mean, because the stuff we're talking about, I mean, it's on I don't say another level, but it's not at the beginning stage. So if you just have to get a general understanding of how to use a wallet, where do you store your cryptocurrency? How can you get cryptocurrency? And I mean, a lot of those resources are in the CryptoCraft course, little plug, but then also just,
Here you go.
On just crypto. I'm sorry, Coin Market Cap, Asari, CoinGecko. But you don't have to like jump all the way in, and don't expect to get rich overnight. But I will say, just position yourself. It was just setting up a on Coinbase or Square, setting up an automatic buy of Bitcoin and Ethereum. There is a lot of different assets that could go crazy at any moment. And yes, I mean, in crypto, it's like, it's like leverage on steroids or options on steroids at certain times. But I mean, you just got to understand to play the waves. But it's something that you have to just, like, I would say, like, take baby steps to get into. Don't just rush into it. Take some time to learn some of the foundational aspects of cryptocurrency and the space. Don't just jump in. I mean, that's how I am. I like to just know what's kind of. I mean, I know I'm not going to know everything, but I need to know how to drive with one hand a little bit before just little stuff like that.
Got you.
I'm not Papa Will and all.
Great advice. Great advice.
Yeah, it is.
And I like to say, for those out there interested in this space, you can let us know. We have partnered with Kamil, who has created the CryptoCraft course. And if you go through By the Hood University, you actually get a discount. And that also will put you in our private group where you have access to myself, Corey, other investors. Kamil's in there. So that way it's not just about getting you to get the course. You also get, the help that you need to be able to answer those questions. But we do have a full crypto course called CryptoCraft, which was created by Kamil. So, let us know if you want to get into that space. Just send us some information. So, man, listen, gentlemen, this has been an amazing episode, man. I appreciate you guys for, sharing your time to come talk about crypto, because we try to blend what we put on our channel, right? So if there's anybody watching for the first time, we talk about every asset class. We'll have as a matter of fact, this upcoming Wednesday, we have a episode of By the Hood where we're talking to a real estate investor who has built an amazing portfolio within the Philadelphia market. So we're talking about real estate. The past By the Hood podcast that came out on this past Wednesday, we had brothers talking about starting a business, the Literacy Kings, and their businesses have revolved around getting folks to read finance books, and they work in the community, and they have a business. They have a podcast as well called the Literacy Kings. So we run the gamut. We talk about business. We talk about real estate. This episode right here has been about crypto. On Monday, you'll check our YouTube channel out. We have a video coming out about precious metals, right? So we talk about metals, stock market, you name it. We want us to be involved in all these spaces. So please make sure you support. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share this video. Make sure you subscribe. Listen to the podcast. Just support what we got going on, because our objective is to get people in all these spaces and make sure we get the resources. If we can't answer the question, how to the experts like a Kamil, like a Russell, that can answer these questions for you. But gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for your time, man. We definitely appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, gentlemen.
I was gonna say, Corey, Jimmy, y'all doing a hell of a job, man. I learn a lot from y'all all the time, and I just want to say, keep doing what y'all doing.
Yeah.
Likewise, bro. Likewise, appreciate you.
Likewise, man.
Yeah,
we just trying to get the information to the people, man. Because the thing about why people don't get involved is because they scared of these investment vehicles. Like most people would call crypto a non-traditional investment vehicle. Well, it's not going to be non-traditional for long. So let's get on the train before it leave the station. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shoot, y'all had put me on to the precious metal game, man. Next day, I went out and bought a kilo.
Yeah, I got some. Russ, I got some new news on that too. I'm gonna hit you up after the show. I got a way to build that simultaneously. I'll put you down with that though. But I think it's important to show brothers like you too, because it's not really about us. It's about the fact that we have a community. Like, we talk to people on a daily basis that are in all of these spaces. My man Do Dubes, who was on our podcast before, he's into all kinds of alt investments. I was talking to him the other day. My man was investing in wine. He's breaking it down like, how you can make money buying wine. I was like, wine? But point is, that's a whole industry that I'm not even aware of. Like, there's people making money in so many different ways. In a lot of ways, we're not taught this kind of stuff. They don't teach it in schools. We don't know. But there are people out there who make millions of dollars investing in wine. How crazy is that?
Listen, man, I invest in watches, man. I bought a Rolex, iced out Rolex for $2,000. Now it's worth $6,000.
Yeah.
Hey,
So I
listen,
mean,
man,
that's the thing.
it's what people is willing to pay. Like Kamil was saying earlier in the show, like no matter
Value,
what you
value.
bought it for, yeah, it's about value. Like if
Yeah.
you bought it for 2, and at this point somebody will buy it from you for 6, then you've made 200-300% on your money,
Yeah.
and you ain't really, all you did was buy a watch. You know what I mean? You didn't. It's like buying a stock that you watched depreciate over the time frame that you had it, and at any point, if you wanted to collect on that, it has enough liquidity. People want Rolexes that you could actually move it in a reasonable time.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. There's
Here's
a brother I
another
follow
one.
on Twitter, and I don't even know him. Bull makes $100,000 on playing cards, like basketball cards and football cards. Like, so this
I used to
stuff all over the
do
place.
I used to trade Magic cards. Magic the Gathering was the biggest card game in the world besides poker. And I used to trade Magic. I played Magic for 15, 16, 17 years.
Wow.
Played Magic the Gathering for
You
17
talking a foreign,
years.
foreign language to me, dog. I don't
I'm
know
just saying,
none of
it's a
that.
card game.
I'm not a shooting
It's like
dice.
it's like Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever you want to say that.
I know
But
what
the trading, but basically just trading cardboard. I used to make money trading cardboard.
What a time to be alive.
What a
Yeah, man.
time
Anyway,
to
man,
be
let's get out. We've been over here for over an hour, man. Listen, I just want to tell the folks out there that support us, we appreciate you. We definitely thank you. Shout out to everybody who's buying the hoodies. It is hoodie season. Hit the link in our bio. We got the hoodies out there. D's and dividends over debt. That's our top selling hoodie. Black wealth is black power, like the one that Corey got on right now. Got the T on. So we got all that. Make sure you hit that. Make sure you support us. Like I said, subscribe. We appreciate you, man. Thank you, gentlemen, again. And we will be back here next Friday to talk about whatever crazy happened in between now and then. But just love everybody. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.